Hey, it's me. I know you probably don't want to hear my voice. I know you've probably blocked my number, deleted our pictures, moved on with your life. And honestly, you should have. You deserve to move on from the mess I created. But I need to say this. Even if you never hear it, even if it's just me talking to an empty room, hoping somehow these words find their way to you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for letting my anger destroy the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm sorry for turning our love into a battlefield. I'm sorry for making you afraid of the person who was supposed to make you feel safe. We used to be good together, remember? Before I let my demons take over, before I let my anger poison everything we built. We used to laugh until our stomachs hurt. We used to talk until 3 a.m. about everything and nothing. We used to look at each other like we'd won the lottery just by finding each other. And I threw it all away. I took our beautiful thing and I smashed it to pieces with my rage, my jealousy, my inability to control myself when things got hard. You tried to love me through it. God, you tried so hard to love me through my worst moments, but love shouldn't have to survive that kind of storm. Love shouldn't have to duck and cover when someone can't handle their own emotions. I turned into someone neither of us recognized. I became the kind of person who yells instead of talks, who assumes the worst instead of giving you the benefit of the doubt, who lets anger make decisions that destroy relationships. I'm sorry for becoming that person. I'm sorry for putting you through that hell. I was jealous. Pathetically, destructively jealous of everything and everyone in your life. When your coworker texted you, I convinced myself it meant something it didn't. When you went out with friends, I turned it into evidence that you didn't want to spend time with me. When you talked to other guys, even the cashier at the grocery store, I saw threats everywhere. I interrogated you like you were a criminal instead of the person I claimed to love. Who were you really with? Why did you take so long to text back? What did that comment on your Instagram really mean? I went through your phone multiple times. I know you knew, even when I thought I was being sneaky about it. I violated your privacy because I was too insecure to trust the person who had never given me a real reason not to trust them. I picked fights over nothing. Small things, stupid things that shouldn't have mattered. The way you said hello when you came home from work. The fact that you wanted to spend Saturday night watching movies instead of going out. The way you organized your closet, for Christ's sake. But it was never really about those things, was it? It was about me being so angry at myself, so convinced I wasn't good enough for you, that I turned every little thing into proof that you were going to leave me. And then I'd explode. I'd raise my voice, slam doors, say things specifically designed to hurt you. I'd watch your face crumble, and instead of stopping, instead of apologizing, I'd keep going. Like hurting you somehow made me feel better about the pain I was carrying inside. I called you names I can't even repeat now without feeling sick. I questioned your character, your loyalty, your intelligence. I made you feel small because I felt small, and that's unforgivable. The worst fight, you know the one, when I accused you of cheating with your brother's friend who you'd known for years, who was practically family. I was so consumed with rage, so determined to be right about something, that I couldn't see how insane I sounded. You looked at me that night like you didn't know who I was, like the person you fell in love with had been replaced by this angry, paranoid stranger. And you were right. That's exactly what had happened. I let my anger turn me into someone I hate, someone you had every right to be scared of. I can still see your face during our last fight, the way you looked at me, not with anger, not with hurt, but with this terrible kind of exhaustion, like you'd finally realized that loving me was killing parts of you that you needed to survive. You said, "I don't know who you are anymore." And the worst part was, neither did I. I watched you become smaller and quieter around me. The woman who used to fill rooms with her laughter started tiptoeing around her own apartment, afraid to set me off. The person who used to tell me everything started keeping secrets just to avoid another interrogation. You stopped reaching for me at night, stopped sharing your good news first. Stopped looking forward to coming home because home had become a place where you had to walk on eggshells around someone who was supposed to love you. I stole your peace, your security, your ability to trust that the person who said they loved you wouldn't use that love as a weapon. That night you packed your bag, not even everything, just enough for a few days, and said you needed space to think. Your hands were shaking as you folded your clothes. You were shaking because of me. Because the person who was supposed to protect you had become the person you needed protection from. Please don't call me, you said at the door. I need to remember who I am when I'm not afraid. Afraid. You were afraid of me. The person who used to fall asleep in my arms was afraid of the sound of my voice, the weight of my footsteps, the possibility that I might walk through the door angry about something. After you left, I trashed our apartment. I punched holes in walls, threw dishes, screamed at the empty rooms like somehow destroying more things would make me feel better. But the silence afterward was worse than any fight we'd ever had. The silence where I had to sit with what I'd done, where I had to face the fact that I'd driven away the only person who'd ever loved me enough to try to save me from myself. I called you 47 times that first night. 47 calls you didn't answer because you were finally protecting yourself from me. And I deserved that silence. I deserved to sit in the wreckage of what my anger had created and understand, maybe for the first time, what I'd actually lost. It took losing you to understand that my anger was never about you. It was about me. About my own insecurities, my own fear of abandonment, my own inability to believe that someone could love me without eventually realizing they'd made a mistake. I was so terrified of you leaving that I pushed you away. I was so convinced you'd hurt me that I hurt you first. I was so afraid of losing control that I lost everything that actually mattered. The anger felt powerful in the moment. It felt like I was protecting myself, standing up for myself, refusing to be taken advantage of. But really, I was just a scared little boy throwing tantrums because he didn't know how to use his words. Every therapist I've seen since, yeah, I finally got help, too late but I got help, has told me the same thing. Anger is a secondary emotion. Underneath it is always something else. Fear, hurt, insecurity, shame. I was afraid you'd realize I wasn't good enough. So I acted in ways that proved I wasn't good enough. I was hurt by things you never actually did. So I hurt you for crimes you never committed. I was insecure about my place in your life. So, I made your life miserable. I was ashamed of who I was becoming. So, I became someone even worse. The cruelest irony is that everything I was afraid of losing, I destroyed with my own hands. You never cheated on me, never lied to me, never gave me reason to doubt your love. But I convinced myself you had, and I treated you like you had, until finally you had no choice but to leave. I turned my nightmare into reality through sheer determination to be right about how wrong everything would go. Now I understand what healthy relationships look like. I understand that trust isn't something you demand, it's something you build through consistent actions. I understand that love isn't possession, isn't control, isn't the right to interrogate someone just because you're afraid. I understand that when someone loves you, the goal isn't to test that love until it breaks. The goal is to nurture it, protect it, help it grow.